Wow, it's been a while. I got dust everywhere. Jeez. Man. Hi, welcome to the Happily Divorced Show. I'm your host, LaDonna Raeh, and this is actually season 3, episode 1. So, well, let's get it. Why not? And you know what? Yeah, this is why you can't take time off because you play the wrong song. So we'll try this again. Take 2. All right, and hello and welcome back to the Happily Divorced Show. I'm your host, LaDonna Raeh, and I just wanted to say thank you for sticking with me and watching the Happily Divorced Show. I haven't been on here in months. Okay, there's a story behind every story, but it's been a few months since we last talked, and I just have to say that the term happily is not so happy always. The show started off with myself and my co-host Warren which was my ex-husband, and he still is. Okay, he's still my ex-husband, but he's no longer on the show. So I know a lot of people are like, hey, that's what made the show. You guys were an actual used to be couple that was on the show having actual conversations about actually being divorced and being married. Um and we actually, there's the word actually, we got through a lot of, should I say, challenges just being on the show. But then it got real. That's right. It got really real because we lost some very key people in our lives, and we had to bring the families together, and it became a little bit too tense. I'll let you guys in on some of it as we go along, but you got to watch the show for me to air it out. Okay. But, for season 3, this is season 3, this is episode 1. We're going to be, or should I say, I'm going to be having guests on the show talking about being divorced, getting divorced, contemplating divorce, or staying together. Hey, I say families should stick together. There's no joke, no doubt about that. But if you just can't, then there's a way to vacate. There's some mistakes that I've made. There's some mistakes that others have made that they're willing to talk about. And I really want to go into that come this season 3. And that's just really what it's about. So, I've got some notes here. I didn't want to miss anything. But like I said, I'm your host, LaDonna Raeh, and this is season 3. We haven't been on since December, January. I have to look at the notes, but yeah, that's when it really got real. It was hard for me and my co-host to sit in the same setting or even virtually and continue doing the show because we started reminiscing on things that really made us angry, and that there'll come a time for that. You have to be mature enough to not have flashbacks, okay? Once you have those flashbacks, you start thinking, and well, there goes the rebuilt, renewed friendship that you thought you could really count on, and because you're focused on being back where you were when you decided to end the marriage. But we're cool. Don't get me wrong. It's just that we couldn't do the show. And we wasn't that cool where we could do the show together because it got, like I said, too real. Um, so this podcast is about, I wrote it down because, like I said, I've been on break. Being honest, vulnerable, and real about the ups and downs of marriage, divorce, and everything in between. And that's why I'm excited. That's why I'm excited to be back in front of you guys for season 3. And this is episode 1. Okay, so hold your applause. It's not necessary. It's not necessary, especially since I didn't press the applause button. Thanks. Thanks a lot. All right. So now that you know what this podcast is about, all about, if you haven't been watching the old episodes, feel free to go back and you'll see how I've had guests on, my used to be co-host on, and we just really let it out. We're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to let it out because divorce is not an easy decision and it's not an easy experience. Some people are thinking about it. Some people have thought about it and decided it's cheaper to keep her or him. Some people have gotten married and a week later thought, well, what have I done? Yeah, I know that feeling. But through it all, there are different perspectives from so many people. And a lot of times you'll hear people say, take time after divorce, take time and heal, that lollipop stuff, and some people actually take the advice of their friends and they say, man, to get over a woman you got to get under another one. We've heard that before, but that is actually how some people do it. Another thing is when you're divorced, like at what point do you know that you're ready to kind of get back out there? And I'm not talking about on a dating app. I tried the dating app. Oh, yeah, I tried the dating app. I was out there on a dating app thinking, well, I don't have time. I convinced myself, I don't have time to meet someone new. Let me just read their profile and get an understanding of who they are up front. And I'll see how they look and all that stuff and decide if I want to communicate with them. And some people I did meet in person, very brief, and it just wasn't the same as meeting someone organically, like on a train ride or, just in person, period. People, these dating apps allow you to put whatever you want people to know about you or what you want them to think about you. It's not so much about catfishing, it's more than catfishing. It is literally just pretending like you're someone you're not, or presenting yourself as someone you think you should have been, and now you get to live that life, that double life online. No. It just, I know some people have worked, but to what degree? I finally killed my dating app profile. I finally killed my dating app profile and it was thanks. Thanks. Yeah, it was time. It was time. I killed my dating app profile because I don't need it. I don't need it. It's, I don't need it. That's all I got to say. It's just not a necessity for me. But I don't want to move out of topic. I want to stick to, why we started this show in the first place. I thought that it would be a great platform for people to be honest. I don't want to hear that violin playing stuff. None of that. In fact, do I have any violin? No, I may have a sad trombone, but not a violin. I'll get one for the next show. I want to tell it like it is. Divorce is not pretty. Some people go through it, it changes them forever. Some people mute themselves during a marriage because they were convinced by their spouse that they were too loud or too opinionated. And then, for fear of losing that person, you lose yourself. Not a good thing. There's a lot of things wrapped around in a not so good match. Okay. So if you're in a not so good match, then you may as well light it on fire because you won't be happy. And don't depend on your mate to make you happy. It's not about being happily ever after. Oh my gosh, we're married, we're so happy. And oh my gosh, it's not like that. Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey, I think they're a pretty decent example of a couple. Only because I saw a special about them recently and how they dated for so long, 5 years, and then they got married. And they've been married a long time. But they got marriage counseling before they got married. Great idea. Okay? Great idea. It brings out the expectations. That way no one is disappointed, no one is angry, no one feels like they got buyer's remorse. And then there's other couples that have known each other for a short period of time and lasted a long time. And then there's people that have known each other a long time, got married and divorced in a short amount of time, because after you're married, things changed. It's okay. We live in a society where divorce rates are high, and I truly believe that we should take a step back, no matter what point you're in your life, and decide, if you haven't been married, should you? If you have been married, would you? And if you're already married, which way do you go? Do you fight for the marriage, or do you fight to be right? I'm here to tell you, if you fight to be right, your marriage won't last. But if you fight for the marriage, it can last longer. You got to have a foundation and understanding and common goals. I'm no expert, but I've been to wife school. And trust me, I can list all the things I did wrong. There were plenty things I did wrong. But this particular episode was to welcome you back to Happily Divorced with your host, LaDonna Raeh. And it was to introduce our topic. Yeah. So before I get to our topic, I just want to say, because I wrote this, I don't want to miss it. I can't wait to share my experiences, insights, and tips with you. And hear from our amazing guests who have been through it all. So let's dive in and talk about being happily divorced. That's where you clap, but don't do it because you're late. Um, today's topic is, it's not the time, it's the timing. It's not the time, it's the timing. Okay. So after a divorce, it's natural to wonder, when is a good time to get back out there? That's a personal choice. If you worry about what people think or what they will say, you will come out on the short end of the stick. If you took 10 years, that's too long. If you take 5 years, that's not long enough. If you took a year, it's definitely not long enough, or whatever. Everyone has their own opinion, but everyone is different. You have to do what's best for you. What is the right time for you to start dating again? Okay. One thing that I've learned, I was a serial dater prior to my marriage. I'm guilty. I I would break up, I would get out of a relationship, boohoo, cry, or just be glad it's over. And it seemed like I was in another one real soon. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say it was like the next day or the same week or month or even the same summer. It was just too soon. And the reason why it was too soon, and I know it now, is because even though I promised myself that I wouldn't make the next man pay for what the last man did, I brought along a lot of baggage. It wasn't baggage of hurt, because I have managed to not bring that along with me. It was the baggage of not giving myself the proper assessment. That's the best way I can put it. See, a proper assessment, this is all my opinion. A proper assessment is, okay, that didn't work, but why? It's not always their fault. You may have created that person or taught them how to treat you. People teach me how to treat them. And if I am someone who doesn't know how to ask for help and I got mad because they never offered, aren't I partially to blame? Yes, that's a yes. Okay. And if I settled for certain, oh, where's my bleep? There it is. It's in a red too. Here, let's see if it works. If I decided or settled to deal with certain, I almost said it and it was late. I'm glad I waited. Then that's on me because I shouldn't have settled for it. I should have set those boundaries. But the assessment is when you can look back at the relationship you were in and determine what part did you play in it to make it fail or make it not go so well. Why did it end? Because of him or because of you? Okay? The proper assessment. And once you make that proper assessment, now you know what to move forward and not do. Or now you know what to move forward and do to make it better for yourself. And make sure that you're a good fit for someone else. I don't want to be someone else's headache. And I don't want a headache either. But I don't want to bring baggage of not doing a self-assessment and not knowing who I really am and what I can actually offer, and that person having to deal with it. The same goes for me. I don't want to deal with someone who hasn't dealt with their own issues. But being a serial dater, that's what happens. You didn't take time to look in the mirror and say, okay, all you did was, dust yourself off and go, all right, let's get back out there. Got to hurry up and find our mate. Nope. And then on top of that, I was so afraid of marriage. Like, this was before I got married. I was so afraid. I was engaged several times, yes. But when it came time to actually do it, I got scared. I was afraid to wake up next to someone and not either know who they are or who I am. That scared me. So I wasn't in a hurry to find someone to get married to. I was probably in a hurry to find someone so that I could decide or determine who I really was. Yeah, that part. This is all truth. It's not made up. I didn't write that part down. Maybe I should have. But I don't want to get away from that timing piece. Again, you're watching Happily Divorced. I am divorced. I've been divorced for almost 4 years. Has it been that long? Oh gosh, this is another year. Let's see, 2000. Yeah, almost 4 years. I filed my papers in 2019. They were stalled because of the pandemic. I was mad. I was so mad I caught COVID. But I was finally granted a virtual divorce. I recorded my reaction, and when the judge said I was divorced, I recorded it. It's on my voice memo. I still have it. And I can't express how free I felt, but I can't express how regretful I was that my marriage didn't work. It wasn't like, "Woo, glad that's over." Woo. It was like, "Dang, another failed marriage in my family." I didn't want to be part of that. I wanted to be part of the success rate. And that didn't happen because I too failed as a wife. However, you get over it. You get over it and you say, "Okay, do the self-assessment. You know what? Yeah. Okay. Um it's not about the time that has passed since your divorce. Like, I could so recall the day, the time, the moment, the judge. Thank you. But it's not about the time that has passed since your divorce. It's also about the timing in your life. The timing in your life when you're really ready for new and improved or to give someone else a chance. I can attest to that because I I've been in long-term relationships and those were my biggest disappointments because I felt like the longer, the harder, the more I love that person. Ooh, I can love them into the person I really, really need them to be for me. No, no. You see, I met a certain someone after I was divorced, yes. And they were happy when I met them. Smiling, tall, nice, handsome. And they were happy. And in my mind, I really felt like they weren't my type. But because of what came out of their mouth, they were so quick with it. I love wit. Okay, that's my weakness. Some people like I don't know, well, I like height too. Anyway, I like wit. And that wit got me. And I was like, I can have some fun with this person. But why was it that I knew that this wasn't a good fit? Because it wasn't. I found myself doing more than I should have been doing. Absolutely. Okay. Um, but the timing can, once you do that self-assessment, the timing can really work for you because now that you've realized who you are, both by yourself and in a relationship, you kind of you know what you can offer. I used to have a long list of what I wanted in a man. It was so long, he didn't even exist. It was that long. He got to be tall, he got to be dark, he got to have thick eyebrows, it was all kinds of stuff. Good credit, good job. I mean, everything, size, shoe. I had the list. I'm like, God said, tell him what you want, what you really, really want. But the list of what I could offer didn't exist. I had a long list of what I wanted in a mate and a very short list, not even well thought out list of what I could offer. I changed my perspective. And now in my late 20s, oh, is that lightning? I know what I want and I know what I can offer. Absolutely. I know what I can offer. And once you know what you can offer, you won't settle. You won't waste time. You won't waste another summer with someone who isn't worthy. My summers are precious. Jennifer Lewis, I believe it was, said it first. She said, I don't know how many summers I got left. Did I sound just like her? That meant something to me. When she said that, I was like, whoa, how many summers have you wasted with someone who didn't deserve to even be in your sunroof? Wow. Yeah, that part. So the timing is so important. It's like you may meet someone at a moment when you're vulnerable, when you're just tired of being lonely, when you just want something to do. Or you might meet someone when you say, okay, Lord, I'm not trying to get religious on you, but just hear me out. Okay, Lord, I'm not going to look, but I'm not going to close myself off from your blessings. Help me to see where you want me to be. I don't like begging God, please do this and that and do this and do, oh, and don't forget to do that. And thank you, Lord, and give me, give me, give me, give me. No, I said, Lord, please allow me to see the blessings before me. And that prayer has really changed my perspective in a lot of things. I don't have to say, reveal to me all. No, God ain't going to scream. Pastor Bill Hybels wrote a book. Sorry about the scandal that happened with him, but he was a human, okay? He wrote a book called The Whisper or God's Whispers, I believe. Don't quote me, look it up. And one thing I can say about that book, God is not going to scream at you. He will speak to you in the manner that is of his taste, of his liking, not yours. Oh, you got to yell at LaDonna. You got to whisper to so and so. You got to, uh, no, no, he's not. He's God. Okay. Like he's the GOAT. So with that being said, I had to listen. I had to be still. I had to be still. People have come into my life. And I know people truly, truly, truly care for me. And I care about people. But that doesn't mean we have to be in a situation. Remember that. All right. So a lot of times people say this. Watch this. Okay. I want to talk about this. This is that BS. This is that bleep sound that I would hit. Take the time to heal and focus on yourself. As soon as you hear that, you don't want to hear that. It's like, duh. Okay. You don't want to hear that. After a divorce, it's essential to take time to heal from the emotional wounds and rediscover who you are as an individual. That is true. Rushing into a new relationship too quickly can be a recipe for disaster. That's true. It is important to take the time to focus on yourself, heal, and learn from the lessons of your past relationships before jumping into something new. That new. Now, that is what I was talking about earlier, but you don't want it to lead with take the time to heal and focus on yourself. The rest you don't even hear after that. You're like, yeah, duh. You know what I mean? So I don't need to hear take the time to heal. I need to hear what do I do while I take the time to heal? What do I do while I'm supposedly healing? What do you do when you've been with someone for so long, not married, and then the moment that I don't want to say the moment, your relationship changes from one day to the next, from a hot summer to a cold, freezing winter in one day? What do you do when that relationship is over? How long do you keep them in your heart? How long do you let them waste space in your mind when they show you who they really are when you're down? When they show you who they really are to you and who you really are to them when you're down, when you need them. See, as long as they're able to benefit from you and the company of you and the likes of you and being in your presence, they're cool, right? They know how to get along, play along to get along, right? But the moment you need them back, they uh uh they vacate the premises. Uh I gotta go check on uh the giraffe that was my next door neighbors that's in my yard. Not in Africa. You're in Chicago. There's no giraffes. Oh wow. Every excuse not to be present because now they can't benefit like they used to from you. That's when you know where you really stand with a person. Absolutely. Now, how did I get on that topic? Well, because when relationships don't work for whatever reason, the only way to move on is to get them out of that real estate space in your head. In fact, the person I was referring to, I haven't thought about it in a long time. So, there. um, Pay attention to your emotions and your intuition. Yeah, they can be a train wreck sometimes. Your emotions. What are emotions? Emotion is sadness, anger, frustration, but it can also be motivation. Okay. And emotions are temporary. Happy. I'm happy right now. But what about joy? Joy is everlasting, right? Uh if you are looking at your emotions or just having your emotions, that's one thing. But the intuition of how long those emotions can direct you, that's another. Okay. So in my notes, I wrote down it's essential to trust your gut when it comes to dating after divorce. What did I tell you? I knew that person was not my type. And I still gave it a shot. Two wasted summers. Dang, you know? But trust your instinct, your gut. Okay. You have to trust what God has implanted in you. And for those of you that don't believe, I don't know what to tell you. But you have to trust or hopefully you have a spirit of discernment, right? Because you will see something in someone. You will see something in someone that is just not right. But, you know, us Aquarians, we always want to fix people. Well, I don't want to fix anyone anymore. Assembly required, not for me. No, not for me. And that brings me to my next point. You can't make someone happy and they can't make you happy. No matter what the storybooks tell you, the movies, the poems, the songs. You make me happy. Ooh, somebody says that to you. Don't run because we're just used to saying that, but ask them, how do I make you happy? Am I adding to your happiness? I am living a life of intention for the rest of my life. Okay, no time wasters. I'm already happy. I'm already happy. Last year, I was in a financial crisis. I still went to work. I was teaching at the media school. I'm going downtown Chicago every day, dressed up, hair, nails, makeup, dresses, heels. Nobody knew what I was going through. It's none of their business. But what I'm going through doesn't define my happiness because someone who has, I don't know, millions is unhappy. They don't have financial troubles, but they got other troubles. I was able to wake up early in the morning every single day and thank God for the sun and thank God for my sons and take every moment of the day to try to get it right. And if I didn't get it right that day, if I wake up the next day, I have another day to try to get it right. That is something to be happy about. That is something to be joyful about. So, my situation, I knew that was temporary. I stayed prayerful. I went to work every day. Also, I have a business. And having my business, I couldn't focus because when you're going through financial turmoil, you don't even have the energy or the strength to market your business. But I poured all my energy into my students because I knew if I gave them what I had up here, they could do better than I did. They could do better and not have any struggles because I want to teach you the $1 million worth of game. I want to give you all the money making tips I can give you in marketing and podcasting and website development. Yes, social media marketing, all of that stuff. I wanted to pour into my students. I poured so much into them that my cup was empty. What? It was something else for me to focus on besides my problems. And I enjoyed every minute of it until I had to snap out of it. Someone told me charity starts at home. I realized something. My ship is sinking. I don't look like my ship is sinking, but my ship is actually sinking. I didn't ask anybody for help. But actually, I applied for a grant and was able to save it. Okay, that's all I got to say. I was able to save my house. I was losing my crib. Okay, now I'm back to having a sound mind, and I bring this up to you because during the time when I was losing my house, I was on a dating app. You don't that makes no sense. Like I didn't tell anybody. And I wasn't looking for someone to help me. I just needed a distraction. No, that's the problem. You don't need a distraction. And sometimes when you take on relationships and people that aren't worthy, or I don't want to say not worthy because people are people, but someone who's not a good fit is a distraction. Someone who You can't I should be able to look at you and see myself. Like, do you look like I belong to you and you belong to me? Or like that can happen one day? If not, it's a distraction. And sometimes we pick up distractions to kind of get away from our own problems or sinking ships. Never again. I'm at peace. Okay. I'm at peace. Um, Again, you're watching the Happily Divorced show. I'm your host, LaDonna Raeh. We've got a fantastic show coming up next Friday with Dr. Shantae Griggs. Ah! Oh, I hit the wrong button. Did you see that? Okay, let's try it again. Dr. Shantae. Okay, she's going to be joining us. Let me see. What date is that? I don't have my calendar up. The 27th. She'll be joining us on the 27th. Make sure you tune in to Dr. Shantae Griggs. She'll be talking about her experience on Happily Divorced. Yes. All right. And I can't wait to see what she has to bring to the table because she is a doctor. Okay. So she might have some medical advice for you people out there. I'm just telling you common sense, but she may have some medical advice. It's awesome. Um, in closing, I want to say be open to new experiences. Don't close everybody off because the last person ticked you off or, made you mad or broke your heart. That's in the past. Okay, it happened, move on. But make sure that you are ready for that. Be a happy person and or be someone full of joy and don't bring that sadness to the table. I can't stand it when I talk to somebody that's monotone all the time. I need some up and down. Okay. Get, happy, excited, sad, concerned, bring it all out. If you're emotionally unavailable, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not bringing your emotions out. You either got them or you don't. Um, I can say that I'm in a very, very happy place right now. You know, it wasn't a date nap. I tell you that. Sometimes you got to meet them on the train. Okay. Um, but just in closing, I want you guys to not be afraid to don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone because if your comfort zone is not working for you, then maybe you should step out of your comfort zone and create a new one. Okay? Um I I'm people don't believe me when I say it, but I'm shy, right? There's parts of me that's shy, but I overcome it when I look at the bigger picture. That's important. So, hey, we got to get out of here. I've been rambling enough. I still have more notes to go over, but mainly I want to ask you guys to do something for me. First of all, I want to thank you for tuning in to today's episode on Happily Divorced. I know I wasn't as like I usually am, but shoot, I feel like I snuck in or something because I've been missing for months. Um, but I want to seriously thank you for watching today's episode because this is a form of expression. And if you want to come on the show to talk about your experience with divorce or contemplating marriage or anything of the like, please get in touch with me. You can send me an email at LaDonna Raeh Show at gmail.com or you can get on my social media. I'm everywhere and send me an inbox message or you can post it. I don't care. You can put it right in the comments right here where we are right now. Oh, speaking of comments, I didn't even see if we had any. My mistake. Let's see. No. Okay. No comments. That's fine. But it's just so important to have this type of dialogue because I'm tired of the cookie cutter advice that people feel like they have to say to you to sound like they know what they're talking about. If you have not been in my I said shoes, then zip it. Just listen. Okay? Just listen. Okay? All right. I hope that our discussion on good timing in dating after divorce has given you some helpful insights and things to consider. Before we go, I want to encourage you to subscribe, like the LaDonna Raeh Show channel on YouTube. I've been passing out business cards with my channel on it. I'm I'm not out of them because I had some more printed. But anyway, I print business cards, but I print my own too. Um, yeah, I'll be releasing new episodes. I had 5 shows a week. Like I said, I've been on a hiatus because I just wasn't in the mood. Um, I'll be talking about my weight loss journey. Just recently, I lost 20 pounds, y'all, 20 pounds. And it was not easy. Okay, thank you. It was not easy. But I feel like I'm living, a more conscious, intentional uh direction to my purpose, right? Um, yeah, you'll never miss another engaging, informative conversation ever if you tune in to me, LaDonna Raeh, on the LaDonna Raeh Show on YouTube. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Yeah. And you'll find me on Spotify. I just gotta get my traction back. But I really enjoy talking to you guys, especially when I know you've been kind of supporting me for so long. And I support you. Hey, if you need me to do anything for you, if you need any help, business advice, let me know. I might know a few things. Don't forget to check out my website. It's LaDonnaRaeShow.com, or you can go to LaDonnaRaeConsulting.com because I do have a business. Yeah, that part. All right. So we're going to get out of here, and I'll see you next week on Happily Divorced. Join me. I'm not encouraging divorce, but I'm saying join me for another show. Yeah, and we're out of here, but it might play again. Yes, it did. I cracked myself up. All right. I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now. Oh, wait. I got a comment. I got to show that comment. Hold on now. A comment. Jamie. Jamie. I said Jamie. Hi, me. Hi. Thank you. He says, you look and sound, or you sound and look great. Thank you. Yes, I got my neck back, because of my 20 pounds gone. Yeah, before I was filling it up. And hey, that's cool too, but it wasn't cool for me because yeah. All right. Bye-bye guys. I will see you next week on Happily Divorced.